Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the Akimath on the four corners, teaching in truth and sincerity. This is Tashar Amath of the Gym as Dallas Camp, coming at you with a quick lesson. Lord's willing, is edifying unto the hopeful elect. Okay, going into Esau's hallucination. All right, because Esau has set up this hallucination which he has thought about from the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to jump straight into the scriptures. Lord's will is edifying to the hopeful elect. All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 10. It says, "But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken Yahweh by Shemi Shai." All right, and we're going to get that word imaginations. Okay, so I'm going to go to Anamon online real quick. All right, Anamon online, it says imagination. It says the formation of a mental image of something, all right, that is not perceived as real and is not present to the sense. Okay, so that's how we know that here in Babylon the Great, this isn't real. Everything isn't real. The food isn't real. The water isn't real. How people conduct themselves, they're all fake. Everything is fake. Okay, so I'll read it again. It says the formation of a mental image of something. All right, so whenever Esau thought of building Babylon the Great, or America, it was built up on false philosophies. The other nations think that this place really has streets of gold. All right, and they perceive that this place will live forever, which is a vain imagination. All right, so it says in the popular imagination is created a world of demons. Now that is true. That's not an imagination, because this world is nothing but a world of demons. Okay, the women, all right, these heathens, and Esau Edom himself, the head demon that's walking upon the face of the earth, which is the self-proclaimed white man. All right, so continuing on, it says imagination reveals what the world could be. All right, but the world is. The world is fake. It's vanity and vexation of the spirit, as you can read in that Wisdom of Solomon. Reading that Ecclesiastes chapter 2. All right, it talks all about that. All right, the third definition, it says the ability to form mental images of things or events. And so I had to laugh at that one, because all these so-called false, all these so-called events that they're taking place, these false flags, is an imagination. Okay, so I'm gonna jump back into the scriptures. Since we went over that word, I'm going to go back into Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 10. It says, "But the ungodly, or these Edomites, shall be punished according to their own imaginations, all right, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken Yahweh by Shemi Shai." And how has Esau Edom neglected the righteous? So let's pull it in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. Let's go to verse 10 and read down to verse 12. It says, "Let us oppress the poor and righteous man." And who is the poor and righteous man? All right, that's Jake. That's you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, y'all are the ones that are walking upon the earth. All right, but y'all are really kings. Y'all really, your feet shouldn't even really touch the ground. But we transgress, as it says in that Baruch chapter 4, verse 6. Because we transgress, we must go through this lower state. as it says also in that Psalms chapter 82. Okay, but I'm going to continue on. It says, let us oppress the poor and righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. All right, so Esau does not care. All right, he doesn't care about you so-called blacks, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, because to him y'all are nothing. All right, and uh, you can see, how he treats you, and how he really looks down upon you. All right, it says, let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing, worth. Because Jake is feeble. All right, they are downtrodden. They have been beaten down ever since America was started, and it started with the so-called Latinos and Native Americans and Seminole Indians. All right, because they were the ones who were over here whenever so-called Cristobal Colon set foot on the shores of America. Okay, he was the one that they were that were being chopped up. That they were being used as slaves before they went over and grabbed the Negroes, or Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So I'm going to read that again. It says, "Let us oppress the poor and righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age." Because back in the day, they didn't care how long you worked, as long as you made them money. Okay, that's why it says in that is it Zechariah chapter 11 verse 5? They were selling you for wine and drink. Those Hamites was, those Ishmaelites was selling you for all these things, to where they can have fun, and not reverence you at all. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold them. Well, so like this is Zechariah chapter 11 verse 5. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they say, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, or Yahweh Shemi Shai, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Now that's twofold, because back in the day, those ones that was taking us from continent to continent was treating us, below human. All right, animal, beast like. All right, but Jake was in that beast-like state position because they transgressed against our power that could save them from it. Okay, but the other reason why it's twofold, because in today's time, the shepherds that were supposed to be protecting the flock has been bought by Esau Edom. All right, and they have kept them on a low estate for so long. But if it wasn't for Yahweh Shemi Al Shai sending that small remnant, to come back and rethink themselves and to assist in building the temple of Yahweh Shemi Al Shai to allow His people to return. Okay, but I'm going to go back to that Wisdom of Solomon chapter. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verse. I believe I'm at 12. All right. Verse 11, it says, let our strength, and this is Esau speaking, it says, let our strength be the law of justice. And hold on, Esau doesn't do anything justly to know how to conduct himself with justice. So, I'll read that again. It says, let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. All right. So, what is Esau's law? Okay, because it's not the law of justice. It's an unrighteous decree. Okay, And it says in that Isaiah chapter 10, I'll pull it. Isaiah chapter 10, I'll start at 1. It says, woe, Salakia. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, all right, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, okay, because Esau, his justice is an unrighteous decree because it goes against Yahweh by Shemi Shai, as it says back in that Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3, Salakia. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3, verse 10, it says, but the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imagination, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken Yahweh by Shemi Shai. So if he has forsaken Yahweh by Shemi Shai, that means that he doesn't know how to conduct himself righteously. All right, it says, woe unto thee that decree unrighteous decrees and that work grievousness which they have prescribed. All right, and they have only prescribed that because they do not keep the law, statutes, and commandments. They weren't given that righteous way, so therefore they are conducting themselves as such. All right, which they are conducting themselves as brute beasts, and trying to keep Jake down in a lower state. But going back to that Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verse 11, it says, it says, woe to thee that decree unrighteous decrees. It says, let our strength be in. Salaki, I gotta move that. It says, let our strength be the law of justice, which really it should say, let our strength be unrighteous decrees. Okay, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Okay, that therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous. So they've been seeking to destroy the elect since the beginning. All right, because they are lying in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. All right, and why isn't Jake for Esau's turn? It's because he's doing nothing but spreading unrighteous decrees throughout the whole earth. All right, which is used to tear our people down. Okay. All right. So it says because he is not for our turn, and we're not for his turn. We want to see Esau Edom fall, all right, and not be lifted up again, all right. As it says in that Isaiah chapter 14 verse 20, it says, and he is clean contrary to our doings. It says, he upbraideth us with our offending the law. And how is he offending the law? All right, by one, he's taking our book and putting it in his mouth, thinking that he knows what we need to know. Whenever he took the scriptures and he took out 90% of it and gave us that slave Bible, which was 10% of the scriptures. All right, so we did not know who we were, because in every captivity that we've been in, all right, Jake has always known who they have been until this final captivity. But that's that sword destruction that Yahweh by Shemi Shai placed upon us, because we kept walking in great pride against him. Okay, continuing on. It says, he upbraideth us with our offending the law, because they offend the law in everything. They feed us pork, they feed us swine, catfish, lobster, everything that the dietary law says not to eat, and tells us that it's a delicacy. But through the strength and power of Yahweh by Shemi Shai, we have awoken, all right, and we have grown. All right, those dry bones in Ezekiel chapter 37, flesh has become upon those dry bones through the water and through the Salakia, through preaching. All right, from the elders and the apostles on down. All right, which is doing a beautiful job. Okay, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shemi Shai, He will lift us up in that day. Lord's will, I am a part of that number. All right, continuing on, it says, He is clean country cherry to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, which is the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh by Shemi Al Shai, and an objective to our infamy, which infamy, I got it written down right here. Infamy, it says, being known for bad qualities. Okay, that's what infamy means. Being known for bad qualities. Okay, it says he upbraideth us. Salakia. He. I'll start there. It says he upbraideth us with our offending the law and objective to our infamy. All right. It says the transgressing of our education, because Esau even had the understanding from his father Isaac of Scripture and how to continue and walk therein him. Okay, because he was going to receive the blessing, but he sold it for some red porridge. All right, and call Elohim like how about Shemi Shai that he did that, because now the righteous can actually walk upright. Okay, which that was the whole meaning of all that anyway. How about Shemi Shai sets up who he wants to set up. Okay, so continuing on. Well, going back into that infamy. All right, so he upbraideth us. He upbraideth us with our offending the law and objective to our infamy. Going back to that word infamy, it also means evil, wicked acts. So these evil, wicked acts, which he has committed against the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, all right, with the chopping the baby or hanging the woman next to the baby, both at the same time, with him sharpening his sword with our flesh, all right, with the buck breaking, with everything that he has done to throw off the minds of the elect, or try to throw off the minds of the elect. Because Yahweh by Shemi Shai, he has cared for his elect. Okay, he respects his chosen. Okay, because they have to go through hell in order to receive the blessings. All right, which Yahweh by Shemi Shai have given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, but continuing on, it says the transgressing of our education, and their education came from Isaac, and they still didn't walk in a proper way. They did not keep the brotherly covenant, and that's why Yahweh by Shemi Shai is going to throw them down. Okay, but I'm going to jump to Psalms chapter 36, verse 4. So like it. Psalm chapter 36, verse 4. It says, He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He's setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Okay, because he loves evil. Esau loves evil. He loves trying to get Jake to transgress. He loves doing these things because he is not for our turn. He is not. He doesn't want us to rise up. That's why he has had us in captivity so long. Okay, but also that is Yahweh by Shemi Shai, sealing the elect for the great and dreadful day of the Lord. All right, continuing on, I'm going to jump to Genesis. It's like it. Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. Okay, it says, and Yahweh, Yahweh by Shemi Shai saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination, there's that word again, of the thoughts of his heart, which is his la'ab, was evil, was only evil continuous. Okay, because during this time, Jake was going off, and Esau was thriving because he was in his proper state. He loved whenever Jake went off, because that just set another quiver, open for him to have those fiery darts being led off towards our people. Okay, but I'll go to that Maccabees, that first Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 10, because with Esau, wickedness increases. All right, this is First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 10. It says, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, all right, who had been in hostage at Rome, and so like a hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137 year of the kingdom of the Greeks. Okay, so this wicked branch came out, and he put holy hell on Jake also. All right, as we are jumping forward to the Greek age, it says, verse 11, in those days when there out of Israel wicked men who persecuted many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. And the only reason why those wicked Jakes did that, to put Jake back in captivity under that first first reign of Esau, the Greeks. All right, so I'll jump to one more, because Jake was going off. Jake was going off. Esau loved it. All right, and it perpetuated his kingdom. All right, this queendom that has been going on since back when. Okay, I'm gonna pull that Micah. That Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Okay, it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. So that's why we need to come up out of this place. All right, that's why we need to wake up from this bad dream, which is Esau's queendom. Okay, his hallucination is our nightmare. His imagination is our nightmare. All right. So, hey, with that, hey, I pray you brothers was edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the Akimat on the Four Corners, teaching the truth and sincerity. Shalom.